What's good, y'all? Welcome into the TraKCouts podcast. It's the podcast where we talk music and life with the people living it. I'm your host, Co-Red. With me, as always, my brother Scorpio Season. What's happening, bro?
What's poppin', brother?
Check it out. Every other Wednesday, we're dropping on all the platforms. We're talking to engineers, producers, artists, all the above. Today, we got a dope guest, artist, rapper, educator. I think that last part's important. Flair the Rebel with us. Flair, thanks for pulling up, bro.
Hey, what's good, man? Appreciate y'all having me.
Appreciate you being here, brother.
Absolutely. It is Tuesday election day. Did y'all get out and vote today or
I'm
what?
doing that right after this.
Likely story. Scorpio, I know your ass ain't voting.
Probably not.
All hate for me over here. All right, we're going to get into some cool stuff today. We're going to talk with Flair about his new project and the Cyper track, PSKC Assemble. But first, we got some other new music to talk about. Scorpio dropped SSF with his bro, Ashan.
Hey, yo.
100%.
Yeah.
So, that was a fun project to put together. We got that coming out. It's already out, but it's for like it's fun summer vibes, you know?
Yeah.
Like just some shit to dance to, shit to vibe to, play with your shorty. It's about like uplifting women, you know, like sing to them, give them something to feel.
Yeah.
For sure.
What has been the reception so far, and what has been like the favorite tracks?
The favorite track so far has been Play This. It's the last song that's on the This Not the Song Your Man
With the sick
like.
drum loop.
Yeah, that's the one that people really been gravitating to. Also, of course, Cutie, but that was out before we dropped it.
Single.
But that's one that people really been gravitating towards. But people really been liking it, you know? Like it's kind of different. I feel like it's really a different sound for Ashan a little bit more than what we used to.
Yeah.
Me, it's like a blend of where I was kind of already, but it's still new for like both of us a little bit.
Facts. So you said you're definitely singing to the ladies. Like that was the idea going in, or you all were just cooking up some shit for the ladies and said, fuck it, let's do a project?
No, first we said, fuck it, let's do a project, but then we started thinking about it. We came up with I forgot where we came up with the idea SSF. It was abbreviation for something else, but then we ended up turning it into She Seems Fun.
Okay.
So that's kind of what made us go into to lean into singing to the women a little bit more.
Yeah. And so like the magazine rollout and shit, that kind of tied into like the about women for women kind of thing, or?
That kind of came from the song Cutie. Who the song is about, the whole overarching theme is that like the girl was very dramatic, and we were thinking about different forms of like drama. Like you got books, magazines, you got theaters and shit. So for this one, we just ran with the magazine cover and let that be how we present drama. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you saying like in terms of like a different sound for Ashan, it was like singing to the ladies, or like some romantic rap was more of the different vibe that we haven't seen?
I'm thinking more so the production.
Okay.
I would say, because like we hear Ashan, we hear a lot more like hip hop, jazz influenced music. Even me is more so like just strict R&B or like kind of hip hoppy, but this was more like a fusion of like almost kind of like some K-Tronada influence. Then you got like some old school like Pharrell kind of sounding music.
Yeah, for sure. What other plans do you guys have for the rollout / project? Anything else you want to share now, or is there anything else coming?
We're both currently like working on other projects right now. This project right now, we're building as it goes.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of letting it roll. However people are taking it in, we'll build off of that.
Yeah, for sure. SSF out now on all platforms. Scorpio Season and Ashan, dope project. Summer
Grab
vibes, like
that.
you said. Grab that today. But y'all, I want to talk about this news that dropped this week. And Flair, as somebody that is also in some different lanes when it comes to music and education and just that's investing in the future, right? So I want to talk to you about this. Like Universal, Sony, and Warner Music come together this week to come up with the qualifications on how AI music can chart. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. So these are the terms under which AI music is going to be able to chart. AI services used to develop the recording are properly authorized and lawful, meaning probably you paid for the subscription to the model that you're using to make it. They are substantially human-made. I don't know what that means in regards to generative music. They do not raise stream or chart manipulation concerns. Okay? They comply with applicable laws, including those relating to copyright-related rights and personality rights. This is the one that's totally unavoidable to me. I don't know how you do that. The making available of recordings does not breach the terms of the generative AI service used. So I guess like under which service you're using are the terms of how you can release it and profit from the music maybe. Mm-hmm. And then the generative AI services develop the recording as appropriately signaled to consumers on downstream services, meaning it shows that this is AI made, right?
Yeah.
So given all those things, it now sounds like AI music will be in the charts. So
For sure.
knowing that there is an estimated 90,000 AI song uploads per day right now, what does this mean for the future of music?
I don't have a crystal ball, right? And I think that beyond just what's going on with AI, I have been reflecting a lot how much has changed. So, United States, the 250-year anniversary, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking about where our country was 250 years ago compared to now. And, politics aside, it's like there's some things that our country is still struggling with, maybe even worse than back in the day. But be it what it may, so much has changed. And I look at 250 years, it's like, that doesn't seem that long.
Right.
Right. So the things that we considered normal that are now barbaric. Right. And so sometimes I'm looking at things like AI and I'm like, I don't necessarily know what people will think 250 years from now will be. And so not to be too cynical, but I'm like, does my opinion even really matter? Right. So I get caught up in that. And I'm like, and that's probably like the cynical way of looking at it. But beyond that, it's like, okay, it is going to impact me now. So that's the conversation that I can have. Right. And what I can say is like, I have an extreme discomfort with AI and music. I think that there is like, when it comes to technology, understanding that there's always been advances in technology that have helped us in the studio as musicians create. Sometimes when it comes to AI, it seems like we're stepping into another lane where we're giving away the creative tools to something else.
Yeah.
And that's what concerns me.
Yeah.
Is that like it mentioned it has to be substantially human. What does that even mean?
Right.
And the fact that like we are even at this point where we have to say that's a rule. Substantially human, when was it never not? You know what I mean? So the fact that we have to specify that scares me.
Yeah. And I seen an interview with one of the dudes from Daft Punk on Instagram, either like yesterday or this morning or something. And he was like, AI bypasses the creative process. That is the only interesting part as an artist, right? Like that is what you live for, is the creative process. And AI in the studio totally bypasses that. It like skips that process and is like, what's even the point?
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. The part that is most concerning to me, they comply with applicable laws, including those related to copyright, related rights, and personality rights. It's trained on everyone's catalog of music. How can it be devoid of copyright? Like,
it already took the blueprint and like the algorithm of whatever music they've heard and shaped it. Like it's already that.
Yeah.
Already.
Like everything you tell it to spit out, no matter what genre, what melody, what drum pattern, what BPM and tempo, key, what style. It's like, it's all based off music that somebody else produced. It's the same idea with sampling, right? Like if I sample, I'm not allowed to like make money on that. But this lays the groundwork for you to make money on AI. And there's no way it can be copyright free. Like it's just no possible way. It's trained on other people.
We're just throwing that out of the water. I mean, and even back to your point about, skipping the creative process. I had somebody ask me about using AI to help write lyrics. And they were just like, why would you not? It's like a helpful tool. And I was like, do you not know that I enjoy writing lyrics? I would find no value in that, no soul. So sometimes I even get confused from the artist's perspective. And then it makes me wonder, the value of the artists that are using it to that degree.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not necessarily going to shame everyone for using AI for certain things here and there, even if I might not think it's like dope or whatever. But it makes me question like the value of the artist in the first place. Like if you are so quick to jump to that, is it because you didn't find joy in creating art? And if you didn't find joy in creating art, should you be creating art?
Right. Yeah. And like to me, like when we're creating too in the creative process, it's like happy accidents, unexpected combination of ideas from multiple people, this and that. It's like those aspects is just like, if you want to be an artist just because you want to release music and, you know, be on your page saying I'm an artist and I got a new song out, but you generated the beat with AI and then you generated the lyrics with AI, and it's like, I hate it. Like it's gross.
But are we like surprised though, right? Like when you look at the music industry and just you know, capitalism in general, you know, it's like it's always been a means to an end, right? Like if we weren't talking about AI now, we were talking about auto tunes, or we were talking about the fact that, like, you know, you couldn't get on unless you looked a certain way. Like it didn't actually matter how talented you were. Once television came into the scene, you had to look a certain way. And so it was always about creating a product, right? There's always been people involved, you know, from the industry and artist side that put more weight into that. So I can't say I'm surprised is what I'm getting to at the same time. You know what I mean? When you look at how we've kind of commodified music in that sense anyway.
Well, now that we almost have like 40 to 50 years of music video data, 30 years of auto-tune data, whatever the fact, it's like, yeah, you might sound like an old head that's grumbling about kids watching TV all day, but the fact of the matter is too, like, once people became more concerned with the videos, you said the artist has to look a certain way. Now you limit so many people that were super talented, but you know they're just ugly, so then they don't get the shine. Or the fact with autotune, so it's now become a dependency on it that people can't even perform live without it. Some people, you know what I'm saying? So it's like these also have lingering negative effects. It's not like we're looking at it in terms of like, oh man, who knows? Like people bitched about it back then. Yeah, they did. They definitely did. But now we've also created long-term negative effects with this shit.
Some of those reasons why they were mad about it is valid.
Valid.
Valid. Still happens.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I think the other thing is like, for me to not be so cynical, I can also take the approach and remind myself that there's culture and there's always counterculture. And there's always value in that counterculture. And you can pack venues with people that are there for a counterculture, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I also think about that. It's like if this is where the mainstream is going, look to where the underground's going to be at, right? I mean, you know, back when hip hop was counterculture, right? And then it blew up and now it's mainstream as it ever could be. But there's also that vibe of it. It's like you could end up creating a counterculture where people are even more attached to the artistic value of it, sans AI, than maybe we've even seen today, right?
Yeah.
So I am interested in seeing what comes from that, and it's not necessarily all doom and gloom, and there will never be any art with soul. I don't necessarily believe that to be true either, because I think that there's always going to be a counterculture to things.
Yeah. True.
And that just might be where you find me. I don't know.
I mean, the concerning part about this to me also is that when you mention the groups that are making the rules, Universal, Sony, and Warner, and whatever other labels were involved in this, also own X amount of stock in the streaming platforms. This just seems like a means to an end for them to generate their own music, fill it up on the platforms, and profit their own generative content. It's like, it's even further pushing out the artist value of their work. You know what I mean? It's when I think I saw it was T-Pain this week had said like, yeah, I sold my catalog. Why would I be like sitting on it as it depreciates every day? Like, because at one point, streaming services, which is another thing that can be looped in with music videos and auto-tune, streaming services, the advent of streaming services, songs went from being $1 each to 0.003 cents per play. And that was without consent of anybody. They just got around it by saying it's market share and you get paid your percentage of the market.
Right.
So the thing is, okay, Mike, we talk about this all the time. You can sell 100 mixtapes for $10 a piece and make $1,000, and that same amount of streams is going to get you $6. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just further devaluing the artist's music further than it already is by saying, okay, now we can profit off of and prioritize and push our generative music.
Yeah, I feel like the main area that AI like bothers people. I think the only way it can really like do damage is like on streaming services though, because like my question is, what is an AI artist performance gonna look like?
Yeah.
Like that's not something that it can. And of course, they're probably working on that, but like I'm just thinking, like, how can that be like an organic experience that a fan could like enjoy? Like, when I'm finna sit here on a computer and watch it, just play the music. At that point, it's just a self DJ. You know, like, what's that look like?
You're also seeing just the undervalue of live shows in general, though. Like, I think that's the scary part is like what you're saying in tandem is happening while you're not seeing as many people buy tickets to shows. You're not seeing people put as much value in the craft of performing live. You know what I mean? And it's still there, and, you know, there's a lot of different reasons for it. But, you know, that kind of concerns me, too, is it's like it just moves the entertainment in a different way, and it continues to pull things away from the art of performing live. Because, you know, that's something I miss.
Yeah. It is like everything's freaking culminating to this one point of, you know, shows being unattainable by fans. Now we're getting to the point where music will be unattainable by artists. You know what I mean? And it's just like we've been driven out.
And that's the crazy part because you can't make money off of your own music like you used to. Like making money off of shows is usually how you make your scrap. You know what I'm saying? Doing the show and then selling merch at the show. You know, and if you devalue that and start to lose that, you know, that's going to make it even more hard for artists.
Yeah. Man, it seems like it's all doom and gloom, but keep creating, people, keep recording, keep writing.
Definitely.
That's all we can do. Speaking of the creative process, though, Scorp and I wanted to talk about coming prepared to the studio. And we'll get into your creative process a little bit, too, on this. But Scorp, talk to us about what coming prepared to the studio means and what you want to ask.
For me, like, I'm thinking of it from, like, from the vocal performance. Like, okay, if you come in there with your beat and everything, that's fine. But like, I feel like we miss with music being so accessible to everybody. Everybody has their own creative process. There's no like artist development or producer like showing them how to record. We go in there with no words or nothing. Just try to come up with something. You freestyling, you writing on the spot. By the time you get to the end of the song, your vocals are tired. You're trying to record the song. Now it sounds like you're strained. It's not your best performance. So that's why I'm thinking like maybe we should come into the session a little bit more prepared, write the song first, maybe even if it's like a rough draft, and then like re-record it exactly the way you did it so you can have it sounding more polished.
Yeah. I think for me, people know me. I'm just generally try to prepare as much as I can. For folks that have worked with me, even professionally or in the music zone, they know me as the guy that sends the most organized emails, right? It's just like
I love it, honestly.
But that's my lane, right? And so I agree with you because I mean that's just the way that I am. I mean, when I come to the studio, especially when it's studio time that I'm paying for, you're not getting my first take. I've already recorded this at home on my phone. I've already done a couple of drafts of it, you know what I'm saying? So then when it's time to get to the studio, it's like it's time to go, right? But I think it could be a little bit different as far as the creative process is concerned. So it just depends. I mean, it depends who I'm rocking with. Like when I came here to record, it was or to work on that beat, it was a little bit different because it's like, here's the idea, and we're here to create together, right? Versus like I got something and I'm ready to put it up right here and right now. So I think it just depends on like what the vibe is. You know, I remember hearing, you know, some old school stories about Tupac in the studio and how wild and chaotic that was. They were not prepared. Like they would just get in there, party, freestyle, rap, whatever, and then they would just leave a bunch of stuff for the engineers to piece together. And to be quite frank, I think that, you know, y'all would probably be like, that would drive me insane, right? But clearly they created magic. You know what I'm saying? Thanks. So sometimes it's like, what's the agreement? Who's in there doing what? What's the intention? Are we all on the same page? Is probably the most important thing. Versus you got someone in there that's like, I'm ready to go. This is the time. This is boom, boom. And then someone else is like, oh, I was here to like visualize and think about it and get to that point. If both of y'all were on the same page, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
I agree with what both of y'all are saying. I feel like it depends what you're there to achieve. Like if you're an artist that's balling on a budget and you need to maximize your studio time, then yeah, come prepared, have the songs written, have this be, you've already recorded it once on your phone, so you know how you want to have certain inflections, you know how you want to swag certain words to make the most of the block that you've purchased. But some artists, you know, if the goal is to come in and come up with an idea from scratch, that leaves you a little looser to come in and, you know, feel it out. You know, in terms of coming prepared, that can also mean different stuff for a different artist. Like, should you be running like vocal scales in the car on your way there? Maybe. Should you be drinking like warm tea and honey on the way there? Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Because all that shit contributes as well. Like, if you're an artist that needs to maximize the time and you're walking straight in and your session starts at 2 and you're in the booth at 2:01, like, your voice needs to be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's important too. And so if you were drinking a cold pop on the way there and smoking your blunt, your voice might not be quite ready where it needs to be to maximize your time.
It's funny you say that. Like, I cut out dairy for 7 days before I record like a final take. Like, because I know it impacts my voice.
Absolutely.
Right now, like, kicking with y'all, this is something, but like, this isn't, I wouldn't even be in the studio recording a take right now. Like as my voice is and everything. You know what I'm saying? But like, so I will literally cut out dairy for a whole week. I won't drink the day of a recording. But the funny thing is, though, it's like it's like an incentive for me.
Yeah.
Because once I'm done, and it's like, all right, man, give me like a quesadilla and an old fashioned. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready for the cocktail and all the cheese you can hand me. You know.
I feel it, and it's like most artists aren't even conscious of how food and beverage impact their vocal cords, because they'll be ordering a pizza in the studio and washing it down with a fucking sugary ass drink, and it's like, yo, you just coated and contracted all your vocal cords with shit that is not gonna allow you to hit them notes you're trying to hit.
Yeah, like, I didn't get hip to that until like I got to college at UAPB, and there was like a rule, like all of us, like, we couldn't eat no sweets, we couldn't eat this, we couldn't do that. And we just sit here looking like, bro, why? Like, what are you talking about? And then they said, bro, at any moment, like, we might ask you to sing something right now. And you need to be able to sing that shit as good as you can. All that shit gonna fuck up you singing. We was like, damn. Yeah. Think about it like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to date this girl, and she had a sister that was an opera singer. And they would take it even as far she would sleep on an inclined bed like this, so that no stomach acid would be in her, creep up to her vocal cords at night.
That's wild.
Yeah, so she was sleeping on a fucking reclined bed like this, dude. Like, that's dedication, but
yeah.
And you hear the stories also about, like, Taylor Swift won't have a conversation with anybody like 2 hours prior to her show. Shit like that too, because she's about to go sing for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's what dedication to preserving your vocals and maximizing, you know, the short time you have with your voice that day. Because also another thing is, dude, like, I was talking to Ian Dobbins over at Element Recording. We've had him on the show. He said he doesn't even like doing vocal sessions over 2 hours, because after that, the vocals are strained, and it's like the vocal fatigue impacts the songs too much.
Yeah.
So, but what about, how do you guys feel about that? I feel like you'll record all night sometimes. And how long are your sessions usually?
I mean, my sessions are usually 3 hours, but I'm not rapping for 3 hours straight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I never go in there with the intent to do that. But I feel like that's pretty much my max. I think if I was in the studio for over 3 hours doing vocals, it would start to get strained a little bit. You know what I mean? And I also like the creative process where even if I know exactly what I want to say, I want to hear what the audio engineer has to say. I want, if I'm bringing in another collaborator, I want to hear what they have to say. So we might, adjust some things on the fly just because of like the energy in the room. And I think I got to be open and receptive to that. But generally speaking, I wouldn't do anything over 3 hours if I'm doing vocals.
Yeah.
With me, from like an artist standpoint, it's changed like over the last month. Like, normally I'll go in there, I probably might be in there recording 3 to 4 hours, but that's me coming up with the beat, coming up with the lyrics, and then recording it.
Yeah.
But now it's to the point where, like, okay, I had the beats already, I had the production done. Now I'm finna go in here, I'm finna write the song, I'm finna do it exactly melodically how I want to put all the stacks, harmonies, and shit that I want in there. But it's just gonna be just a faint little singing vocal. It's not gonna be the final. It sounds like a full song, but it's not. And then next time I'm in there, now I'm finna record the whole song exactly how I need it.
Yeah.
With that skeleton, record it like that.
I feel you.
So when it comes to coming in the studio and maximizing time and getting straight to it, Scorp, you had posed the question: is your first draft your best draft?
Not. I used to think that. I used to hella think that. A lot. I used to be like, bro, no, I'm not finna redo it. But now I've grown to like hear certain I study like a lot of different music that I like a lot more. And some of these artists are artists that first draft that what we're hearing on the radio isn't exactly what they first came with. Like I'm listening to like Michael Jackson songs and they got like the whole song. They did a whole take of the song a whole different way. And that's not even what they put out, but that was fire. Mm-hmm. So like now I don't think so no more. I think your third or fourth song might be the best.
Yeah. You know, you got to be open to it, right? Because, you know, off my album Dear City, there's a track, This Side of Me. And the first take is what you essentially hear on the album. And I didn't like that first take. I didn't like it so much that I actually paid for studio time to re-record it in a different area, right? And then when it came time to like press go on it, I was like, there's something about this first take that's a little bit better. Now, I think that, you know, really what it was I had this idea of what I was trying to do in my head. I didn't capture that with the first take, but what the first take was it was my authentic self, right? Mm-hmm. It was a little bit more true to form to me. Now, when I released that track, people are like, yo, your flow and cadence is dope. Like people like gravitate to that song. And I'm like, I came so close to not even putting that version on there, you know? So I think it depends. I feel like you just got to be open to both. You got to be open to the fact that the first take may have been the best one, but at the same time, it's like drafting and, you know, going at it again. It's a part of the process. Usually my first take is not the best. You know what I mean? But I'm not trying to, I can't give up on it just because it is the first.
Yeah. I've seen some producers say that the energy from the first take is the most authentic, right? So it's like it's the most pure with the purest idea, with the you know, most creative freedom that you can take with the line, considering it's never been laid before, right?
Yeah.
But like Scorp said, it's like you might refine it and get it even better. But like Flair said, that energy on that first one might be it off rip. And both things happen in the studio all the time. Like that's why as a producer engineer, a lot of times I'll be like, yo, I'm going to save this one and let's just try it again. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you do that as well, you unlock with the artist like, okay, I've already laid it down there saving that one. Let me just see what I can do with this second one. And sometimes that second one is dope. You know what I'm saying? So there's no rules really when I think it comes to first draft being the best. I think which means that puts extra emphasis on the engineer at vocal comping. Can you take pieces from this take and this take and this take and this take and put it together to be the best final performance? You know what I mean? Because that happens all the time. Like, man, the way they swagged that word on the first take was the best I've ever heard it. But the rest of the take on this line was better because they didn't stumble over it like they did in the first take. You know what I mean? So how can I take that and put that word blah, blah, blah and make it the best overall performance?
Do y'all be in a situation where like the artist might say, oh, don't record, I'm just going to do this.
And I record
like,
every time.
You're like, nah, I'm going to record this. Like, because you never know.
Well, and the thing is, like, that's why you record, I'm speaking in Pro Tools, in quick punch mode, so that even if you're not recording and you're playing back and they hit something crazy, you can record at any point. Like, and it captures everything that's been done while it was in playback. But also, I tell artists, like, all the time, too, like, even if you tell me not to record, I'm going to record. I record everything the whole session. Every time I press play, I press record. Yeah. Because there's no point not to. You know what I mean? Like, there's really no point not to. As the engineer, you should be able to manage it too. And like, sure, 90% of the times, it's just going to be a blank piece of scratch audio that you just delete and then you do it again, press record. Hey, let me hear that one part I just did. Okay, bet. I'm recording during that while they're listening because you never know. Yeah,
and then it might be worse where if they think you're recording and you're not, and they're like, let me hear that back, and you're like, oh, I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I do quick punch mode, because even in quick punch mode, you can not be recording the whole time and then just hit record barely at the last second and it'll get everything they just did. So it's like, that is super clutch. And then that's going into a playlist so that we can always recall it when they inevitably say, man, I thought I liked that one I did like 5 ago. And it's like, I got it.
Man, y'all are magicians behind that studio, bro. Y'all be doing things that MCs and vocalists have no idea. I appreciate it.
Hey, you have no idea how many times too. It's like, this is funny. Like, an artist will think they like fucked it up. They're like, fuck, I fucked it up. Let me run it back again. But I'll just grab like that word they fucked up from the last take and play it back. And they'll be like, hold on, I actually killed that. And it's like, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You did. Yeah. It's like build up their confidence because you're in there comping while it's happening.
Yeah.
But all this creative process, all this studio talk, bro. Let's talk about your new project, Dear City.
Appreciate it.
Which I'm guessing off rip, Dear Kansas City?
Yeah.
Okay. Describe the creative process of the project and how it came together, because it's a lot of names on there too.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely Dear Kansas City, because that's, the city that raised me. That's where I'm at. But like the concept of it, I kind of wanted to speak in terms of like this idea of like you can have so much love for your city, but still be critical about it, right? Like if you love somebody, you can also tell them when they're messing up. You know what I mean? And so for myself, I kind of took that, in like my lineage of where I'm from. So I was born in Brooklyn, was only there for my baby years. Kansas City raised me, and then I went to Chicago for 10 years. I was there for college and then started working there, and then moved back to Kansas City in 2015. So those three cities are like a part of me, right? But it's this whole idea of like, I wanted to create an album that could be relatable to any urbanite. If just like, I've seen these issues in my own hometown. You know what I'm saying? I get what he's talking about. But I think uniquely Kansas City, it's that whole like Midwest, like flyable culture, right? Where people don't understand what we got until they show up. And it's like, this has been here the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So there's a little bit of that of like amplifying my hometown because it's not always getting the due or praise that it needs to.
Okay. And so with the collaboration aspect of it, you have a bunch of features on there. Plus, like in the credits, you are like listing the producers as like featured artists on there as well.
Yeah.
So is that normally how you collaborate with so many people involved, or this one was you wanted to get a little more in depth with that?
There's so many people that are part of the process that like I'm always trying to give people their respect and their due and their splits or whatever it might be, because it's just like, man, I couldn't be doing this without other folks, right? So I'm always trying to do that to a certain level, sometimes even more than some people like, yo, you didn't have to put, so-and-so on this or give that, whatever. But that's an important part for me. And especially with an album like this, with it being Dear City and representative of Kansas City, like, not everyone on there was from Kansas City, but the vast majority have roots here or are part of the music scene here. And if I'm going to, make an album that's almost like a letter to my hometown, I wanted the homies to be on there with me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And the Midtown Cypher, that little 30-second track that you have on there, you beatbox that beat?
I did, yeah. Yeah. So I beatboxed that, and then I had a little bit of help from my homie Matt Phoenix, and he does auto engineering over at Strange, and he helped out with that a little bit. But it was interesting because I was like thinking I needed other beatboxers or more this and that, and then they're just get in there and do it. Yeah. And so it worked out.
I mean, hey, some of the biggest producers and artists are known for their beatboxing. You know what I'm saying? I've never been one to beatbox personally on a beat, but I'm sure a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The PSKC Assemble track though, let's play a little bit of that, and then we're going to talk about that.
All right, let's go.
All right.
KCMO to the dot. In case you didn't know, we ain't got flops. Nice with the flow, that's a lock. See a microphone get rock.
I chased a dream back when folks said the lab was crazy. When I'd ask for help, they'd answer the ghost me like Patrick Swayze. Now your boys all over the world, these beats I'm slaying. You think that they've gotten tired of me now, but they keep on paying. Now I'm lifted, feel like I'm wearing a jetpack. Plus I'm jet setting, no telling where I'ma step at. They've been flying me out, so I've been eating off trays like Agent Wilson, shooting from behind the arc after a step back. Shame how this music you're not releasing, your names don't be even mentioned. Too busy acting hard, treat your art like semen retention. Stop telling people it's coming soon. You procrastinate while they fly me out to fill up the room. Do this magic how I can make infernos erupt from fumes. Be consistent, you could too. I know cause they stay sleeping on me like narcoleptics. I could've let that keep me in, neutralize me like contraceptives, but I rejected and they thought that folks wouldn't know who Kadesh is.
Okay, I'm making the crowd rotate. Okay, who's better than me? No say. Okay, got seasoning like Old Bay. Fly your ass over, we ain't trying to see ya. No way. Before I wrote this, I was told to make it masterful. imagine me not mastering the masses, they ain't logical. It's only natural that I elevate every status quo. I flip the script, turning conservatives into radicals. I murder this track, attacking like I got a vendetta. Put poison in the pack of Scorpio back in November. No one ever kept a gun on a dresser, but never test her. Rebel with the flair, making diamonds under pressure. Must confess the best, there ain't nobody comparing the dude. Loose with a screw, but out of this world like Artemis 2. I'm taking out the old regime, burning up the whole scene. Molotov cocktail toss from the mezzanine.
From the WYCO, you don't want no trouble with my people. That's on the real, I'm a menace to society. This ain't just a scene, it's the thing in its entirety. Filmed in Wyandotte County, celebration of lyricists. Elevated penmanship, fled a rebel and rip. We invaded the premises. Vanishing minutes, phantom like Kemet. Tell all these starving artists that I'm the famine they fearing. Pardon the hostility, I'm fresh out of humility. Honesty, all this modesty, dishonors God's ability. They feel me from Philly to the Philippines. Said that I'm the one, got me reminiscing Billie Jean. 8th and Greeley's where I paid my fees. Place full of MCs and they came to eat. I was afraid to speak when they played the beat, but I let the rage release and became a beast.
Pardon me for my absence. How many rappers you know, present, future, and past tense? These numbers steady climbing, you can see by my last stint. You gotta learn to pivot when you pushing this passion. That's the way of life we living when you come from the midi jack. Man, I was up in Indy when these boys on Similac. See, I was indecisive, so I told them to give me that. I got a couple vices, smacking, biting, I'm into that. Bitch, I've been a bum and I'm called a common denominator. Analyze the endless, have a conference with commentators. Jack when he was playing with Penny, once in a dominator. Plug it like your phone company. Operator. This is the result of your consequence, repercussion. My reaction to you acting like we was just really bluffing. I've been working on restraint, but I'm waiting to push a button. Pay attention when I'm speaking, I'm peeking, no interruptions.
KCMO to the dot. In case you know.
Okay, so that's only the first half.
Yeah.
So in that we had the hook. You're doing the hook.
Yep.
Then we had Kadesh. Then you.
Yep.
Then it was
Louis Rip.
So this was my introduction to Louis Rip. I was unfamiliar with him. That's the only name I had not heard before on this cypher. And then Joey Cool, we just heard the last verse right there. Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to Kemet, Shay, Epitome, Chief. Who else am I missing on that? Is that everybody?
Let's see here. You said Kemet,
Shay, Epitome, Chief.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of hitters on here, bro. Let's talk about bringing this track together, because how did you go about picking who was on it? I can speak on making the beat. You pulled up, we made the beat together.
Yeah. And you put your foot up in that beat, man. Like I remember leaving the studio listening to it, and I bet a lot of people have that feeling here when you just like, man, we got like lightning in a bottle with this.
Yeah.
I was like, I could not wait to get everyone on that. So now as an artist, solo artist, Flair the Rebel, although, I rock with a live band when I can, usually like a 6 to 7 piece with a lot of artists I get to work with. But back in the day, I was with another group called Anti-Crew. And with that group, we had a track on one of our albums.
Anti-Crew?
Yeah.
That's hard as fuck. That's tough.
Yeah. That was the original like iteration of my music. And so we had a song called, this is what, it was this one's PS KC Assemble. I'm like, KC Shuffle. Man, drawing a blank on the original. It was called KC Shuffle. And back then, it had a lot of like the top MCs, at least in my opinion, from the scene. You know what I'm saying? We had, we had UBI, we had Joe Good, we had Brother Moses, we had Approach. Just a lot of dope, Reach. We had a lot of dope cats that said yes to a track like that. I've always been inspired by just like the posse cuts. You know what I'm saying? Those like the tracks that get everyone on it, and everyone is like, iron sharpens iron, and you just like going in and just like no one's battling each other, but everyone knows that like there are dope MCs on this track. Yeah. And that's the thing I loved about it, because when I would tell people who's on this track.
So you told them in advance.
Yeah, I would because one, it's like I wanted them to get excited to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you should do this because so-and-so is on it. And it did have that effect, but I think at the same time, it made everyone like, oh, so-and-so's on it. Like I gotta like really step it up. And I felt like everyone felt that energy going into it. And they did their thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beat, I could say, is like you came in and you were like, yo, I need like this break energy, but then I also need this banger energy, and like I need this. And it was like, and I think you also maybe had mentioned like who you was thinking on it. So we was like, man, we gotta get it. So they would fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but the lineup's super dope. And a lot of people, when you get these many people on something, they talk about those. You got those Infinity Stones. You got the Avengers. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
right.
Scorp, that new Spider-Man just came out. I know you were saying you might go see that.
I need to go see it. I haven't seen it yet.
But I want to compare your team here. Let's pretend we got a superhero team.
All right.
Go through all these artists here, and I want you to give me a superhero that represents each of these artists.
All right, so I was hoping you would ask a question kind of like that because, like, obviously with the Call KC Assemble, it's like a playoff of like the Avengers Assemble. You know what I'm saying? So in thinking about this, I'm gonna just go in order. So with Kadesh, I'm gonna give him Thor, right? Like he just came straight, hammered down.
That trombone, a motherfucking hammer. You know what I'm saying?
Like he just dropped the hammer on that first verse of it. You know what I'm saying? And then if you got me next, I'm gonna give myself Captain America. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just like telling everyone to assemble, getting everyone together.
Okay, yeah.
Louis Rip, I'm gonna give him Hawkeye. Just like precise with the flow, precise with the precision. Someone you might not always think about, but then like when he pulls up, it's like, oh man, dude is talented.
He'll fuck you up.
You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Joey Cool, I'm gonna give Spider-Man. Like in the sense of like, okay, the Avengers are already the Avengers.
Yeah.
And then you add Spider-Man,
Okay,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
feel that.
Like
I feel
not
that.
like one of the original members, but like when
Yeah.
he got in there, it's like it was over the top.
Yeah.
Also like Spider-Man being like somewhat more popular than all the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Like Joey Cool was the only one that Distro Kid was like, did you really get Joey Cool in this?
Yeah, okay.
They're like, we need you to like double confirm that he's actually on your record. Like they didn't even believe me at first, you know? Yeah. Kemet, I'm gonna give Iron Man. Just because he went the swag out with the verse, you know what I'm saying? He like smoothed it out a little bit, and he had that kind of like Tony Stark swagger, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, also Kemet being like just, you know, the entrepreneur himself, you know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Tony
you know, doing
Stark,
his,
yep.
you know what I'm saying? You know, about his business. Shay's Black Panther.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just like
definitely.
someone-
As she would say, I'm motherfucking Black Panther.
I mean, like, just like Shay is Black Panther, right? Like, you cannot underestimate Black Panther. And it's like when, you know, Black Panther shows up pound for pound, like, can, you know, go in with anybody. You know what I'm saying? And just like that smoothness and charisma and just like that's Shay. Epitome, I'm going to give Ant-Man. Just like the larger than life personality, he had some like, you know, comedic parts to his flow and to his lyrics, and it's like, you know, Ant-Man and like, you know, Paul Rudd, he's, you know, hilarious dude. You know what I'm saying? Chief, I'm gonna give Hulk. He came in like Hulk smash. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
no regard for nothing.
For nothing. You know what I'm saying? I asked for 16 bars. He gave me 25. You know what I'm saying? Like he came in there and he kind of flipped it, did his own thing on it. But obviously the talent is there. And I got to give you Nick Fury, man.
Oh shit!
I mean, you made the list,
I
man.
made the list.
You know what I'm saying? If you know, creating that foundation for all of us to hop on and do our thing. Nick Fury is you, bro.
Hell yeah. Fire. I'm glad I made the list, bro. I did not see that coming. What you think of the list?
It's hard.
Yeah,
I feel like everything's fit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
But you said you were who'd you say was yours?
Captain America.
That your favorite?
Nah. My favorite Avenger, man, it's probably between it'd probably be Thor. I mean, but my favorite Avenger is Spider-Man, but I don't see Spider-Man as an Avenger first. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he came in part of the crew, you know. But if I'm looking at like the straight up squad of Avengers, it's probably Thor.
Who the best Spider-Man though?
And Andrew Garfield.
That's crazy.
Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man. I don't care.
I gotta go Tobey Maguire just because OG, bro. That shit changed my life when I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm probably going Tobey, but you know, Tom Holland's pretty dope dude though.
Okay, so speaking of a team though, let's talk about a team. Score before this, we was talking. You said, is your team hurting or helping you? When we talk about the team on KC Assemble, that shit helps. That's a great team of people to all get on a track, get your eyes on it. Everybody in there is a working artist, you know, outside. Yeah. So talk to us a little about a team hurting or helping you.
When I was speaking about it, it's just more so of like making sure that the energy that's around you is helping you get to the point that you're trying to be. Like if you have a goal, like find the resources or people around you that are working on certain pieces of your goal. Because like if you got a vision, you might not be able to do all of it yourself, but you got different pieces around you that can work on that as you're going. It just moves the vision along faster, you know?
So important, man. Like I see other artists out here that are successful, and generally speaking, I see them with a team. I see other folks that are willing to pull up and help out and be a part of that, and that just takes it to the next level. Me, I mean, obviously you saw with this album and even that track, like I love the collaborative process. Some people, they can do it by themselves. That's not me. It gets lonely out here. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, making art has always been more fun when I'm creating it with other people. But then when it comes time to everything else, it's like you can't just be an artist nowadays. You got to be dope in the studio. You got to be a social media manager. You got to be a videographer. You got to be a content specialist. All of this, and so if you can get other folks that are willing to rise with you and take on some of those roles, that team is, I think, what a lot of people are missing. You know what
facts.
I mean? But so what do you mean by like the team hurting you though? Like, I mean, because it can go the opposite way.
Yeah.
If let's say, for example, maybe like you're not aligned, like maybe y'all go in different directions, it might not necessarily mean that it's not your team, but they might be, I don't know how to put it. I don't want to put it. I'm not sure.
I feel it though. I understand what you're saying. Like for me, a team hurting and helping you can boil down to a couple things. Like a lot of us surround ourselves with the people that we enjoy being around, right? Well, they might not necessarily be the most qualified people to be helping you with what you need help with. Does that make sense? You need to make sure, like, especially if it's like a group of, a lot of times in the hip hop world, it's a group of people that grew up together that have always been friends, and now they're trying to come up as some kind of music coalition group together, right? Whether that be one person's the artist, a couple people are the artists, a producer, a manager, all in the same group, right? Well, you need to make sure that those people are qualified for the role that you're trying to put them in position to fulfill, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And also for me, it's all about avoiding yes men on your team, right? That's how we see a lot of these artists like pop, and then it fizzles out because they have yes men around them that just tell them, yes, everything you're doing is the right move. Everything you're doing is creatively fire, everything like that. Like, it's healthy to have a certain extent of pushback, right? Like not everything that comes out of everybody's mouth is a good idea. You know what I'm saying? And that's healthy to have some pushback.
Another way I see like it's hurting is like if for example, you're trying to, shit might move in seasons, you know, like your goal as an artist right now might be just to get visually seen just by the general people. But then, and somebody might be helping with that. Now you get to a point where like, okay, I'm seen, but now I got these endorsements or whatever. And now my goal is to try to let's make myself look a lot more visually appealing to these endorsements, these different brands and stuff. The person over here might just be trying to just get you seen in general. But now you might need somebody that's trying to like, that can move into this niche for these brand deals you're looking for or something like that.
Yeah. And another thing is like a lot of people that have their team, it's like not everybody can be the artist as well, right? Like not everybody's built to be an artist. If you have a person that you rock with that does music and they're fucking awesome at social media and the visual aspect and, you know, putting fits together and everything that you need for eyes, and you're good at music and they lack in that regard and you lack in those other regards that they excel at, then work together to build the brand for one of you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like either have that person on your team invest in your creative visual aspects or whatever you need, or, you know, make music that's for that person. You know what I mean? Like put effort where it needs to be into one person on your team. Not everybody can be the artist. I see a lot of groups of people that will be like, yeah, this is my team, and it's like 4 or 5 artists and nobody's doing anything else. Everybody's an artist. And one person in the group might be really fucking good and the rest of the people might be a lower tier artist, like in terms of like potential, right? So it's like not everybody can be the artist. That's what I see a lot. All right, let's switch lanes a little bit, get back into our little engineering tech side a little bit. You be recording and mixing yourself at all?
No. I always have somebody, you know, doing what y'all do because it's way better than what I can do. I'm gonna leave it up to the pros.
So chime in where you can, but we're gonna talk a little bit about engineering for just a sec.
Yo, nerd out, man.
Superstar mixing techniques of the week.
Yeah,
Scorp, I got one for you.
What's yours?
So I've been experimenting with putting a limiter on my vocals the last few, maybe month or so. And I've been using L2 mostly. Might switch that up, but I really like L2. It's a classic. I've been using it for years. But it's not to limit or like squash or push volume or anything like that. It's just to catch peaks coming through on the vocal bus. So usually I'll set it around -12. And that's usually about where my vocal bus I want to be peaking anyway, about. And so anything over that, it will just catch a quick gain reduction. And what that does is prevent the limiter at the master of having to catch those transients.
For sure.
And saves me distortion on those peaks on the vocals. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just catching extra peaks before the master bus. And what that does is lets you get louder. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So last thing on usually I'll have my vocal bus. If I have an ad-lib bus, if I have a background bus, my all vocals bus, it'll be the only thing on there.
Okay, so it's on the all vocals.
All vocals.
Okay,
right.
Not the vocal bus.
Because when those buses combine as well, I want something that will take out a spike in that. You know what I'm saying? Make sense?
For sure. For me, my superstar plugin technique, Sync Vox, the Wave Sync Vox, or Vocal Align, whatever you got to use. Just because I've been being a lot more intentional and creative with like stacks and harmonies now, using them just to accentuate the song. But what I've also been doing with the Sync Vox is, let's say an artist raps a line, but it's just off and they like trying to get it and they just can't do it. What I'll do is I'll rap the line the way it should be and sync what they say to mine. So now it just sounds like they're more to be like, oh damn, this shit sounds a lot more aligned in the flow, because they just might not be able to get the line.
Interesting.
So I'll rap it and just sync it to my vocals instead of the opposite.
So you're laying the blueprint. You got their take and you got your take. Your take is hitting the way it should be, and then this allows their take to be more on par with what yours is. And then yeah.
Because it's made mostly for like background vocals, and it will move the vocals like to the main stack, so they're lined up in more in harmony kind of style. But that's an interesting way to use it that I have not thought of or heard before. Really interesting. Yeah, I have been. I use that a lot. Not vocal line. What is it? Sync Vox.
Sync Vox. Yeah.
I use that a lot. I'm not gonna lie, for backgrounds, but usually it's like at 50 or 60%. Like it. Sometimes if I need like a really tight pop sound, then I will crank it up to like 85. Yeah. Anything over that sounds bad to me. It's like 90 or 100 is like, it just sounds like we could have threw a doubler on it at that point, low key.
I feel the same way with like the pitch knob. Like the pitch knob, it just makes it just sound okay, bro. It's the exact same thing. Yeah.
And when you're doing that too, like it can actually, our ear picks, it depends what you're going for. Like what you're using it for is a completely different use than what I think even Waves had ever even intended, right? So it's like when people are using it to align their backgrounds and their doubles and whatnot, it's like you have to realize like the differences in time and pitch is what spatially allows us to make it feel bigger. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So when you take that away and you condense it on the timing difference and on the pitch difference, you actually make more focus in your record instead of more width, right? You narrow the record because everything becomes in the same time in the same note. And so that's with auto-tune too. Like if you're auto-tuning the hell out of your dubs, it focuses it. I think Ken Lewis saying this, like pitch and timing differences is what gives it big width.
Yeah.
But I love Wave Sync Vox, and I finally have got a hang of it. You know what I mean? Like a year ago when I was first using it up in here, and it was like I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. All the tracks would be there. They'd be like, but I finally figured it out. Like I only operate with like 2 or 3 tracks in there at a time. Then I'll clear it out and redo it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah. See, now that's my thing. How do you clear it out? Like I'll be trying to clear it out and it won't, and it's just hella shit. And I just try to use minimal.
So every track you use it on has a little green light on the channel that says Sync Vox. And if you I usually render it so it's not thinking about it anymore. But then you just click that green light and it will say none, and you take it to none and it clears it out of there.
Okay, bet.
And that's what I'm saying. So every time I align one and I render it, I get rid of that.
Okay.
Because then it allows me to just pick 2 different vocals on 2 different channels and not have that bullshit in there. But yes, I like Wave Sync Vox. All right, we got one, Squirt?
We got one. I could call this, we got one kind of artist development edition, I guess.
Okay.
I'm more so just going to ask questions. We just kind of give our answer.
All right.
First one, what's one habit you had to unlearn to become a better artist or producer, engineer?
I think comparing myself to other people. Yeah. Yeah. Just understanding that like what I deliver is what I deliver. They can't be me.
Right.
I'm not supposed to be them.
Right. That's a great one. Because that's what music's all about. It's about being different. You know what I mean? So it's like, why even compare yourself to others? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think, I can kind of agree with that. Like one for me, a habit I had to break was like just trying to like remake what people have already done. You know what I mean? Like
That might be like the first step.
Yeah.
Like, that's low key kind of my answer.
Yeah.
It's like copying people exactly.
But there probably is a stage where that's how you learn.
Right.
100%.
Like, you know,
Right.
there's nothing wrong with that, but like
Right.
eventually you got to like create your own lane.
Like when I first started making beats, like back in high school, I would just be making shit that I thought would sound just like Dr. Dre. You know what I mean? Because I thought that's what was cool. So it's like, this just sounds like a Dr. Dre beat from the 90s. You know what I mean? So it's like, but now that doesn't sound like me at all because I just do whatever I want now. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Like if you like with me, like if you listen to like my early music, like I sound like whoever my favorite rapper was. You know, like just because that's what I listen to, I'm imitating that shit because I think that shit is fire. I'm like, okay, man, I'm gonna do that too. Now I'm able to grow into like, what am I feeling when I hear the beat? Let me try something.
Yeah.
What's something you used to think mattered, but you don't care about it anymore?
If you got it, Cody, go ahead and jump in.
what people think about my music, period, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that fuck with it are gonna fuck with it, and the people that don't like it are not worried about it. You know what I mean? Like when I first started making music in the city, I would be like, man, I want like everybody that is an artist or producer here to like fuck with my shit and like think it's dope and whatnot. And it's like, now I realize I'm not making music for them at all. It doesn't matter what they think about it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter what anybody says about me or my music. I just don't care anymore, you know?
Yeah. Sure. I think for me, it's the shelf life of music, right? I think it's really changed. I think that like there used to be, I did this a while ago. It's not relevant. There are more people that have not heard my music than have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this idea of what's relevant and what's time bound is just a concept that we create for ourselves.
Right.
And I actually think the music industry is a little bit different. Like when you see, songs that get put in this Netflix show or this commercial, and then suddenly like everyone is streaming it, right? Or this thing went viral. So the idea that because I did it a while ago, it's no longer worth promoting.
And you'll see like Country Roads charted during the FIFA World Cup because Team USA was singing it. You know what I mean? Or I saw like some other old song went, like a Madonna song or whatever, for whatever reason went number one or whatever. It's like old music finds moments too. You know what I mean? Yeah.
For me, I think is trying to make something because it's what's gonna be popular. For me, I used to make a lot of music. Okay, this can be played at the club. This is what I need to make or whatever. Now it's just more so, okay, this is the message that I got in my brain right now. This is what I got on my spirit. Let me just say this.
Yeah. And I think that's is that from an artist perspective?
Yeah.
Because I feel like as a producer, I still need to be like, okay, I need a club beat for this artist. You know what I mean? Like I have to think that way sometimes. So, but I don't think like, okay, I need a club beat. I need it to sound exactly like Manny Fresh, and I want the bass that he did. You know what I mean? I don't think of it like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Last one. What's one weakness you're actively working on as an artist? Artist, producer, engineer.
For me, I'd say, the business side of it still. You know what I mean? Like this place has been going for like 2 years now, and I'm still learning all the time about how to run a business. You know what I mean? Like there is the business side of the music business, and that's the part that I'm still learning all the time and trying to get better at, because it seems like that matters a lot of the time, even just as much as the music, Yeah.
So I think I've been doing a better job lately. But, we talked about being prepared, and I'm just like, that is just me. But sometimes it's like letting that go a little bit and just going with the flow. So, for example, like I'm very much like, this is the way I want it to sound. This is how I want to do it. Let's get on stage and do it just like this. But then you're missing out on opportunities where you can be a little bit more creative or in the moment. So, for example, like being able to, hook up with Rob Tribb, at the Phoenix And it's like, I'm just going to send you my tracks and you're going to interpret it. We're not going to rehearse and you're going to do your thing. And then I'm going to get out there and do my thing. Like, that took me a lot to be okay with.
Yeah.
But it was good for me and it was good for the process, you know? And even this last, this opportunity myself, Kemet, and Kadesh got when we went over to Ireland on tour for a little while. You know, there was this group in Belfast called the Belfast Groove Collective. We just sent them our tracks. They locked in and then performed with them. No rehearsal, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have if I wasn't working on that skill, that would have terrified me.
Yeah.
You know, but we got in and they did their thing and they were incredible musicians. And like, did it sound a little bit different than how my band would have done it? Yeah. But it still had flavor. It still had its own rhythm and energy to it. And just kind of like letting the energy of the music in the moment kind of take course versus, being so tight to what I have in my head.
For sure. For me, it is writing, getting better at like, whether that be the speed of how fast I can write the song, get it done quickly enough, or if it's like the content of the song. Because like up until I probably say recent years, a lot of my creation has just been going to the studio, brain fart a bunch of ideas until I just find something that sticks. But now I've gone into like this process of like, I know what I want to talk about. Let me pull up the beat. And I'm gonna sit there, and I'm not necessarily gonna write the song, but I'm just gonna write all my thoughts I have about this topic, and then just so the theme can just be going around in my head over and over, I can actually see it, what I feel, what I think about it, and then I can like kind of piece words together from that. And then furthermore, I'm also just trying to just get faster at writing, because like me, I'm very patient with music just because I like to take my time on it and get it to how I want to sound it. But I do want to be at least like somewhat faster, like just writing, being able to come up with an idea.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure. Good question, Squirt. Good questions. All right, let's get out of here on that, y'all. At CoRedKC, at We Got One Scorp, at Flair the Rebel, THA, at Flair the Rebel. Flair, thanks for coming, bro.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate y'all.
For sure. TraKCouts bouncing out, y'all. Peace.